Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be continuing with The Most Hated Woman in the World Part 5. Now when the police had arrested Casey Anthony, they went to the homes of her parents, George and Cindy Anthony, and actually told him that they wanted to not only just confiscate the car, but they wanted to inspect it and bring in some police dogs to kind of sniff it out and just see if they could find anything. So the police would go and grab the canine unit out of their cars and bring it closer to the car. And when the dogs had gotten around the car, they were just kind of sniffing around, but nothing just alerted them. Not until, however, they had gotten to the trunk of the car. Now, when they got to the trunk of the car, the dogs started barking and going crazy. So the police would pop the trunk. And when they popped the trunk, they had realized there was a small stain in the corner of the trunk that kind of resembled a frame of a body. And it's actually where this pungent smell was coming from. Aside from the actual stain that was inside the trunk, they had also seen that there was strands of hair, and they took that into evidence and sent off for to be tested. Cindy would later tell the police that she had to go and take a whole can of Febreze and just empty it inside the car, just so that they could get rid of that pungent smell. After the police would confiscate the car, they would go inside the residence of George and Cindy and would begin a full investigation looking within the house. They took pictures and notes of Kaylee's room, Casey's room, and it actually went and confiscated the computer that was actually in the family room. Once they had confiscated the computer, they had found that on the search history, a lot of the search history on a particular day had been erased. But under further investigation had found that someone had went and looked up how to make homemade chloroform. And not only looked at how to make homemade chloroform, actually went and clicked on a link. The police would go and call Cindy asking about what they had found, and Cindy would go and tell the police that she was the one that was on the computer at that time. She would further go and say that she did not mean to click on the link, but she was actually looking up how to make chlorophyll or find chlorophyll because her dogs had been eating bamboo in the backyard and was trying to put the chlorophyll inside the bamboo so that the dogs would not poison themselves. The police was fully confident at this point that Casey Anthony was completely guilty and was definitely hiding something. It was also very apparent to the police that Cindy Anthony was not helping them find out what was going on whatsoever. And it would seem that the only person that was anywhere near interested in giving an actual truthful answer was the father, George.
I know, and you know, that everything you told me is a lie, correct?
Not everything that I told you.
What happened to Kaylee?
I don't know.
You do know. What happened to
I don't know
Kaylee?
where she is. The last person that I saw her with is Zenaida.
It's not the truth, because it wasn't the apartment complex. There's no person that ever lived there by that name. The apartment's been vacant since March. Listen to me. We're even pulling surveillance video from the apartment complex, and we're not seeing you over there. We're not seeing you there at all that day. You think that we're stupid and we're not going to do all this?
This is the honest to God's truth of everything that I've said. The last person that I saw her with is Zenaida.
The police had began interrogating Casey extremely hard because they were fully convinced that she was behind everything. They would even have her mother come in to visit Casey and more or less talk to her. And Cindy would ask Casey what Zenaida would look like, and Casey would not answer. Cindy would also go and say, the police don't even think you even know what Zenaida would look like if they put her picture in front of you. To which Casey would just roll her eyes and just completely shut down. And little side note to be known is the police actually did find a Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez and actually showed the picture to Casey. And Casey had no idea who it was. So the police knew that Casey was full of it. Cindy would even go and ask Casey if she thought that Kaylee was still alive or if Kaylee was even around. And the most haunting answer was Casey would look at her mother and go, "I think she's close."